Shalom and welcome to 2 Minutes of Torah. This shir is entitled Parsha Tisa, Moshe breaking the Luchot. There's a simple question. Moshe hears on Har Sinai the tragic news that the Jews went off the derech, and he makes a kavachomer according to the Gemara in Yevamot, and he says if the Jews go ahead and for one mitzvah like Korban, Pesach, the Haikarim for here, violating the Torah on such a serious level, then they really are obligated. Maybe it's best that they don't have the Luchot. But he did not break it until he went down the mountain. The question is, why did he wait? So several answers. One could say that he wanted to see maybe they'll do tshuva by the time he gets down. Maybe one could say he used it for educational effect. He wanted to make an impact for them to see, oh wow, Moshe is breaking our Luchot. We have really gone off the derech. The Maharsha says that Moshe wanted to teach the Jewish people a halacha, that you can't go ahead and paskin based on hearing from one source. You have to have two ibid. You have to have or see it yourself. But to go ahead and hear from a source, one source, that's not enough. But it was from Hashem. That's the ultimate source. Yeah, but Moshe wanted to teach them. You always need to hear from two witnesses or see yourself directly. Interesting. That's the Maharsha. And then the Albo Saifer Haikarim says, yes, Moshe knew that something terrible has happened. And still, even the great Moshe Rabbi knew. Only when he saw it firsthand did he feel it in his heart. He was burning up, seeing such a horrible, horrible sight. And yes, intellectually, he knew that something was very wrong. But it was only when he saw it firsthand, it was at that point that he felt such an unbelievable loss. What a tragedy. And it was in his heart and his soul. And like it was not that way when he just heard about it up on Har Sinai. And therefore, at that moment, he broke the Luchot when his feelings about the matter were so intense. Rabbi Albo was discussing this while he's asking on the Nevi'im why they spoke about Tzaddik Varalo. It wasn't already discussed in previous forums, like Neo, Moshe Rabbeinu discussed it. Why the Nevi'im discuss it again and again? Yirmiyahu, Yeshayahu. And he says, yes, they know from a cerebral standpoint, cognitively, they know all about that. Yes, certain times you have a tzaddik and he has a horrible life, a Russia with a wonderful life, and they analyze it before seeing earlier sources. But when they see it themselves in their own generation, it hits them in a different manner. And emotionally, it's very intense, and they deal with it. They ask Hashem, they scream to Hashem, and they offer solutions. They try to make sense of it. But when a person emotionally is in the middle of something, it has a different impact on him than when he is just intellectually involved. So Moshe was intellectually involved in Har Sinai. When he came back, it was a different level of involvement, and that's when he broke the Luchot. So too the Nevi'im, when they saw Tzaddik Varalo, it was a different emotional involvement they had, as opposed to when they just learned about it previously from earlier sources. And so too with all of us, we always have our cognitive understanding, perception of matters, but when we're involved in something emotionally, it takes upon ourselves a whole different meaning. And then we have our heart and soul and mind. And then, of course, the challenge is to approach things in a proper manner with all the intensity, but with the objectivity and rationality as well. Shalom.